Hello and welcome to video 10 of 10 in my Python 3 crash course. If you've watched every single video and made it to this point, congratulations. And let me know in the comments below, was my course helpful or not? And what was one important thing you learned? So, for this final video, we are going to learn about modules and packages. A module is basically another Python file. You can use this other Python file to write functions and such so that you can import it and use it in your main Python file. So I'll give you an example right now. So I have two different Python files here. So whenever you're working with multiple Python files, there's going to be lots of code. But what if I wanted to use code from one file in a different file? Well, I could just copy and paste whatever's in that file into the second file, but what if there's a lot of code? That would be very inefficient. So instead, you could import. So I'm gonna go ahead and import the other file. So importing is just like what it sounds like. You're basically allowing the file to use code from the other file. So in order to import a file or a module, you write the name of the other file. And in my case, it's called other code, but in your case, it could be whatever. So then, now that we've imported it, I can now use the function that's been defined inside of other code, and I can use it in here by doing this. And as you can see, it works just fine. The function returns a plus b, and 1 plus 3 is 4, so it works completely fine. But notice how in order to use the add function we created, I had to write other code. What happens if I remove it and just use the function by itself? I get an error. This is because Python thinks I'm trying to find the function that was defined inside of this file, and it doesn't know I'm trying to find a function that was defined in the other file that we imported. So in order to let Python know, we have to write the name of the other file with a dot, and then we can use the function. And that goes for any other function we create as well. So not only can we import our own modules, but there are also built-in modules that Python has. For example, I'll show you 3 of them. So one of them is called the random module, and you can use whatever function or method they have in that module. So I'll show you one, for example. Remember, if we want to use it, we have to write the name. And this function is called randint. Takes 2 parameters, and if you run your code, it'll give you a random number from 1 to 10. For example, it gave me 2 this time. Run it again, it gave me 1 this time. Run it again, it gave me 10 this time. So that's what it does. And there's also the math module, and there are many functions and methods that are in the math module. You can Google them because I obviously can't go over all of them, but I'll show you one here. So if I wanted to find the square root of 64 perhaps, then I could just use the square root function and then use 64 as a parameter, and it gives me 8 as an answer, and it returns it as a float. So if you want to return it as an integer, just use int, and it gets converted to an integer. Finally, I'll show you the time module. So if I import time, I can there are many functions and methods again you can use. You can search them up, but I'll show you one here. So let's say I wanted to count down from 5, but instead of having the numbers 5 to 1 show up all at the same time, what if I wanted it to actually count down? like in seconds. So I could say for I in range 5, print I plus 1, and then done. So if I run my code, it will just print the numbers 1 to 5 done right away. But if I wanted a 1 second gap before it prints each number, then I would use the sleep method. And what this will do is it'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then done. And there was a 1 second increment between each one. So that's also a useful method you can use. And there are many more like that. There's a lot more modules you can import, and there's a lot more functions and methods you can use. So you can always explore the internet and find some more for yourself. Now the last final lesson before we end this series, and this is about packages. So a package is a module that someone else has created. It's not built in or anything like that. So you would use packages if you want to build something, but someone else has already made it and you want to use it in your project. That's when you can use their package. So in order to get their package, you have to install it using pip. Pip is a package manager. It usually comes with Python, so you don't need to worry about that. So it basically helps you install other packages. So if you go to the terminal and type this command, and the package name goes here. In my case, I'm going to install the package called requests. And once I press enter, I get this because it's already been installed. But if you haven't installed it before, you'll get something a little longer like this. So, and then once you have it installed, you can import it. And you are now free to use it wherever you want. And you can do this for any package. If you want to find more packages, I would recommend checking out PyPL. It's basically like the app store for Python, but it's just packages. And then you can look on there and then import packages inside of your terminal if you find the correct package you want. Congratulations, you have just completed the beginner tutorial course on Python. And now that you have a strong knowledge on the fundamentals, what can you do? Well, there are a couple of options. You can either expand your knowledge on Python by going on the internet and finding more courses. Or you can start learning Django, which is a framework that lets you build websites and web applications. And there's so much more you can do with Python and learn. You can learn to build games with Pygame, and like I said, you can build web apps with Django. So it's really up to you and what interests you the most. So I'll let you decide. But before you leave, I want you to create something really, really special to celebrate completing this course. It should combine everything we've learned in this entire course, and it should be pretty long. And it should be something interesting. If you make something good, I want to see it, so paste your code in the comments and I'll definitely check it out. So this is it. If you want to check out my web design course as well to get a head start on Django as well, then go ahead. Now, if you enjoyed this course and really learned something from it, I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. And that's all I have for you. I'll see you in the next one.